Welcome back to Plotline Hotline. I'm Cole.
Yes, and I'm Christian, and we are back with Star Wars Month. This is our, I think, doesn't matter. We're going to do Jedi Survivor today, something a little bit different.
It's our first game review.
It is, not our last, but definitely our first. It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was a good addition. Do you want?
You got it.
God damn it. I mean, yes. So, Jedi Survivor takes place after Fallen Order, and yeah, I don't know how many years after. I can't remember.
I actually don't know either.
Okay. I think it was like short time after. We're following Cal. He's being detained, quote unquote, and, pulls a heist on people, and the adventure starts, and you get to meet all fun characters, and more or less they're trying to save or stop the Empire and have a safe haven for everyone, and they're trying to find their way to Tantalor. Tantalor? Yeah. Tantalor, there, no D. Tantalor.
You don't need the D.
Oh no. And you meet a lot of cool, fun characters, which we're going to probably talk about anyway. Some fun twists. And yeah, we'll talk about some of the gameplay and stuff. And yeah, that's the basic of it.
Yeah.
They pretty much just try to find their way to Tantalor.
Yeah. You are correct.
Did I miss anything?
Technically, no, but it's the same as all your synopses.
That one was probably my worst, I'm not going to lie.
I don't think it was your worst.
Okay. We'll see.
It's not your best.
No, definitely not my best, I'll tell you that.
Alright, let's start. We'll start with the story, I guess.
Sure, let's go.
I liked it.
Yes, it was a good story. I don't think there was any points where it was weak or, confusing. I think they nailed all the points, made it fun. There was a lot of cool twists that I was not ready for. When you go to the Forced Array and you find Dagon there, or
oh yeah,
when you find him in the vat.
Yeah, in the back tank.
And you're like, oh, that's cool, he's a Jedi. And then just watching him change the
really
kyber
cool.
Crystal, that was fun.
That was really cool.
I should just say spoilers ahead if you haven't played it yet, because we're going to probably talk about all of it. But yeah, no, it was a good, solid story. I really enjoyed it. And getting to know the characters, like the old characters from the first story, and you're slowly like bringing them all back because they all separated, that was fun. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good one.
I liked a lot of what they did. You get good in-depth looks into the new characters as well, but the characters returning.
Correct.
Like you get a little bit more, obviously, from Cal, from Marin and Seer. And it's really good. Dagon is a fun antagonist for the first portion of the game.
Yeah.
Him and Ravis's connection is
so fun.
Is actually really fun to watch unfold, because there's a little bit of like rivalry there, but it's also loyalty and respect, at least on Ravis's side for the most part.
Yes.
So that is really cool dynamic to see. BD1 is, of course, always awesome.
I mean, MVP.
Easily.
Yeah.
Top character, right there. Step aside.
Not even a main character, but, I guess he is. But anyway.
Yeah, and he's useful, too.
He is. He
He's actually a useful side piece.
For once!
He's a telescope. He can undo computer stuff.
He can shoot goo that lights on fire.
He can shoot electric darts.
Yes.
There's nothing that boy can't do.
Oh, and then you can make him look as beautiful as you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No, the story, I honestly don't have any qualms with it. Besides the little, it's to make the game so you can keep playing, but the little Tantalor bit at the end there, I didn't think
like that last cutscene.
Yeah, I didn't think it was necessary, really. No. But overall, I think it ended well. And yeah, just watching Cal's journey and almost seeing, him turn to the dark side, it was fun. I enjoyed playing Cal. I felt like I was being Cal.
I will say that I think the Bode betrayal is somewhat telegraphed before, because like by the time you beat Dagon, you're like, there's something missing here.
Yeah, because he seemed like the big guy, right?
Like, and the entire time they've been building up Bode and his daughter, but you still hadn't met the daughter or anything like that yet, and you're like,
he's still around.
I see through you.
Yeah.
Of course, they do throw an extra twist into that betrayal as well, like with him being a Jedi as well.
Yes.
Well, that was cool.
I was not ready. I was ready like for the betrayal.
Yeah.
But the Jedi, I was like, oh, what?
I do think his betrayal is written well. It's just, I think they telegraph it a little bit too much, almost in a way.
Yeah.
Because you're like, the entire time, you're like, there's something going on.
Yeah, you just feel off about Bode the whole time. Even right off the start, you're like, okay, I like you, but also, and he's more worried about getting paid, and he's more worried about his daughter. Yeah, but great character.
Yeah, it was good. It was still really good. It was just like that, for story-wise, that moment, I was like, we're not done in the game yet.
Yeah, I just beat...
We have not found Tanalor.
Yeah.
But yet our main villain is gone.
Dead. How? Why? I thought we were getting a Tanalor this game. Yeah. I thought meeting Old Master Eno.
Cordova.
Yes.
That was a nice twist. I was like, I kind of was like, oh, he's alive.
Yeah, when I saw him, I was like, oh, what? He's alive? That was a nice little reunion, and even getting to see Seer.
How have you been saying her name before this? When you hear him say it,
I don't say the name after he does.
You just ignore what they're saying for their names? Because half the time you just spout something that isn't their name.
Because I'm not the one saying it. They are.
So
I'm just
heard
listening.
it like 50 times.
Yeah.
He yells it.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
When she dies, spoiler.
Yeah, but, you know. So, yes, story. It was really good. Even the, just voice lines and stuff was really fun.
Maybe voice acting.
Yeah, the voice acting.
Yeah.
There was one time, I think I was on the Shattered Moon, and there's droids and stuff going around, and if you actually stop and listen, they're like...
Oh, fuck.
The one droid's like, so, what do we do when we see a Jedi? Do we just blast him until he's dead? Like, aim fire and blast him until he's dead? And he's like, don't worry, I got this. And you're hanging off of the edge, and then you just murder both of them. It was amusing. I did like the chatter that the NPCs had.
Yep.
Most of the droids, they were amusing. So, yeah, it was awesome. It didn't have a lot of good Easter eggs in it. It was well thought out for story.
I think they did well playing with the character dynamics of the old group as well. Why they separated, but also them coming back as well. You get to see where each person's standpoint was, and you're like, okay, I understand.
It's like, I get this.
Yeah. Some wanted to follow through with their old life, others wanted to explore the galaxy, others wanted a quieter life after all the danger and stuff, and you can't blame them.
No.
And then throwing in tidbits from like the High Republic with Dagan Gera and Satari Kree.
Yeah.
Kree with Tanalor, with Z, the old antique droid.
Yes.
And all that type of stuff. That was fun. That was actually really cool, and you get to see a little bit of that.
Even with the flashbacks and everything, you get to see what it was like beforehand, right? Before, because this takes place right after Order 66, right? Or
it takes place. The game takes place between episodes 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think the first one happened like you get to see the beginning.
5 years afterward, after 5 or ish.
Yeah, and you get to explore Cal and what happened to him during that too. Yeah. But this one, it's a little bit after. I would say this game is probably 6 years or so after, at least a little time anyway. So yeah, it was good. Characters were fun. Even the love story, I didn't mind it. It wasn't like slapped in your face or anything.
No,
either.
I think
it
they
was good.
Had a good genuine connection. They hinted at it in the beginning or near the end of the first one.
Of course.
And they let it grow very, I don't know what the word is, smoothly, genuinely.
Naturally.
Thank you!
You're welcome. Glad I could help. Yeah, I think for the story-wise, I think that's kind of... Yeah, it was just well-paced. It was good. It was fun. Kept me engaged. Yeah.
Graphics, they weren't bad.
Yeah, they weren't bad. I found that there was a lot of the time... There were silly glitches that I feel like didn't need to happen.
Yeah, I found mine had a lot of glitches too.
Yeah, it was good. And when it did look good, it looked really good.
Yeah.
But there was times where it had tough time loading it, or like characters wouldn't quite load up properly.
Now, guys, this is just from our perspectives of playing the game. If your game ran perfectly smooth with the highest of quality, that must have been really nice.
Good for you. Yeah, and it's not like we were playing on the PS4. I don't even know if they let it.
I don't know if it was on the PS4. I played on PS5.
Yeah, so even with the PS5 and everything, there was moments where I was like, "Aw, come on!" Like,
this doesn't look as nice as some of the other parts of the game.
Yeah, but when it did look nice, like
Yeah,
you could see the details in their faces, you could see the details in the creatures.
You could see every freckle of that ginger skin.
Oh, it was overall good. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about graphics. I just think overall, just development wise, it probably needed a little bit more love just to polish it up. Yeah.
Then Gameplay was pretty good for the most part. I think there was just a couple things that, again, just needed a slight polish. I find some of Cal's movements, I find every now and then jerky. Like when you do the first jump, and then when he goes for the second jump, he just...
I know.
Like, it's just movements like that. It doesn't really take you out of it. It still does the thing. But at the same time, you're like, that looks weird compared to the rest of how he moves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then sometimes I found personally I had a hard time with the timing for certain things.
Yeah.
Like I found like I would go to do a thing, but then it wouldn't register right off the hop. So then I would suffer in devastating ways that hurt my character and the soul of me.
See, and I think I noticed it every now and then, I will agree, but it didn't happen as much for me. There were some times where it was kind of bullshit, I would say, where you're, thought you were blocking and you'd already hit it, but, it was that delay of pulling it up, or, he was still doing his little flourish on his, lightsabers.
Gotta make it look pretty.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I don't think that would take too much away from me. No. I think, again, it kind of goes with the graphics, but there was a couple times I was playing, and it was mostly with what were they? The skitters. Oh, no, what were they? When you first get to Jeddah, those creatures that you fight, that scorpion looking thing.
Those fucks showed up everywhere.
Yeah, so every time I went to finish one, like you get that finishing move, it would glitch up into the air, and then it would,
Mine did that too with a lot of the finishers.
Okay.
All of a sudden, it would just be up in the sky. I'm like,
I found it was mostly with that creature. The rest of them, it happened every now and then, but yeah. The gameplay was fun. I enjoyed it. A lot of platforming.
Yeah,
and especially
I enjoyed that, actually.
They do a good job because 3D platforming can be such a pain in the ass because you have to, get it perfect, right? Mm-hmm. But they do a good job of, you gotta run on this wall and then do this, and then you gotta combo, and then when you learn something new, they implement it and teach you how to use it, and then they're like, alright, we're gonna make this harder and harder. Yeah. And it was good.
I think I would say some of the maps are tedious to travel through. Once you get the fast travel, it's not that big a deal.
No.
But, getting to some of those places, on Jeddah, I fucking hated navigating Jeddah. At least when you first get there.
Oh, yes.
Fucking hated it.
Yeah, it was bad when you first get
there. It looks cool. It's too bad I can't find my fucking way around here.
Mm-hmm.
But, there were some areas where, it drove me nuts.
Yeah, I think because of, the visual cues you were supposed to get, some of them I missed right away, and you're like, how am I supposed to get there?
Some of them blend in too well.
Yeah, and especially
this looks very natural. Oh, that's where I'm supposed to run across.
That's the scratches. Yeah. Jeddah was harder because of that, because the scratches were, just an off-color brown.
Yeah, when it's all, ruins and stuff already.
Once you kind of get a handle on it, it gets easier throughout. And when you unlock the shortcuts, it made life so much easier. But yeah, no, gameplay was a lot of fun. The combat was a lot of fun. You got to do pushes, pulls, all sorts of fun stuff with it. And
all the different lightsaber stances.
Yeah.
That was, the customization in this game was incredible. Way better than the first one.
So much better.
They took the critiques from the first game and they're like, okay, we'll handle it.
Yeah.
We're no longer focusing on the poncho. We're giving you more looks. We're giving you hairstyles. We're giving you jackets. We're giving you ponchos still.
Yes.
We're giving you shirts. We're giving you pants. We're giving you lightsabers.
And different color lightsabers. And you can paint your lightsaber. And each part you can change.
Mm-hmm.
And BD you can change.
You can have a beard.
Yeah. On your lightsaber. No, I'm just kidding. But no, the customization, I took to heart. And I was like, I'm going to make this how I want this to look. And it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
And especially collecting them, you're like, ooh, that's the color I want. And then when you get the blaster too, you can customize that. That was fun.
That was really cool.
Going into stances though, I guess that's a new mechanic kind of for this game.
Yep.
To an extent. I mean,
like in the first game, you had like the single
double
lightsaber, and then you had the double bladed.
Yeah, and that was it, really.
Yeah, and then in this one you got 5.
Yes. How'd you feel about those?
I like them. They gave you different variety for sure.
Yes.
I did have my favorites, of course, but
of course, I was gonna get to that.
Mm-hmm. And then, but honestly, you covered basically all the styles of lightsaber. Really, the only one that you really didn't get to do is maybe underhanded, but
yeah, and I mean that's minimal, honestly.
Yeah, this is like that's the only thing I can think of that they didn't cover.
Yeah,
honestly, because I think that's all the lightsaber styles that I know of.
Yeah. And they were fun. All of them had their uses. They were fun to play.
I did think some of their combos were a little small.
I agree.
Like, because then you're like, oh, it's the same...
Especially with
same
the double.
Again, over and over.
The double blade, when you had that, there was like, you pressed it like 3 times and you're doing the same move again, and you're doing the same move again, and you're doing the same move again. And it was like, this is cool and all, but like, a little variety would have been nice. But yeah, no, the stances were fun. They were enjoyable. I like that you could like interchange them, try different ones together. But which one was your favorite? Just
which 2 I can use most?
Yeah, let's go 2. The 2 you used the most.
By the end of the game, once I had them all unlocked and played with them a little bit and had unlocked more of their skills forward, I stuck with double bladed because it was fast and it had good crowd control.
Yes.
And crossguard because it would lower the block meter and do a lot of damage, but then I could switch between the 2 so that way I had speed and power.
Nice. I actually, most of the time, I definitely had double, like the double blade, not the dual wield.
Yeah.
And I switched between dual wield and single. Those were, I would say I probably ended up using the single blade more than I did the dual wield.
You didn't use blaster ammo?
I used it for a little bit and I just was like, nah, this isn't my playstyle.
Yeah.
I was having fun having that control over the crowd. I was like, I don't need a blaster.
Yeah,
I could pull everybody in and then I could use my double blade and get them all. And then the bigger guys, I would use a single blade.
Yeah.
Just slice them down and away you go. So I found the blaster wasn't my favorite, but crossguard was fun.
It just takes practice.
I didn't perfect it. Yeah. I wanted to.
It takes time to get that one's more difficult just because it's slower.
It was just the timing, right?
Yeah.
You had to like almost anticipate the attack, but that one was cool. I was not expecting that when I got there. I was like, oh damn!
The way they introduced a lot of the modes, like in the beginning when you were fighting the Ninth Sister, and you just all of a sudden you just disconnect.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, what?
Honestly, the reintroduction to Cal was awesome.
It was.
I was like, this is not the apprentice we left before.
No,
this guy's a man.
This guy is.
This is a man.
Look at him. He is a man.
He has stubble.
He has a beard now. But yeah, overall, I love the gameplay. It was so good.
Orange lightsaber color.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, looking at the other ones, there is some cool ones, but I couldn't not do the orange one. It was just
I expected as much from
I would assume the green one for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
I had it on blue for a little bit, because I do like the blue.
The blue is nice.
But then I was like, I need my baby.
I almost thought about changing to white a couple times. I was like, oh, that white's cool. The purple's cool. Oh, they're just all good. But yeah, I stuck with the orange just because then my lightsaber was also black and orange, and it was beautiful.
Oh, I do have one thing that actually bothered me about the game, and this came from the companions. Like, throughout the game, whether it's Bode helping you, or Marin, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
See you on the Mantis. I'm like, you're just leaving? Every time.
Yep.
I'm like, you could help him get to the mantis.
No.
You could, but no, that's not gonna happen.
They like serve their
show up
purpose
and then they leave.
and then they're like, bye.
So often they'll always be like, I'll see you on mantis.
Yeah. Or it'll be
Fucking
like
help him.
Marin's going to distract the Empire, and you're like, but I could use your help.
Like sometimes it made sense, but
It
then
did.
other times I'm like, this is an awful. This happens a lot, guys.
Right.
Yes. And also, Marin's powers are very plot oriented.
Yes, they
Like, I'm
are.
like, okay, you can just
Convenient.
hide the mantis, no problem. You can't hide me
Yeah.
in like as I travel and try and not get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can like the teleporting thing in their big like fight scenes.
Yes.
When you basically just flying
You
through
fly
all
in the
worlds.
wake.
That
of-
was fun.
That was
That was
fun.
really cool.
It was
nice.
cool.
It was a nice mechanic to have,
Mhm.
and I'm glad they didn't use it too often. But stuff like that, has all this power and stuff. I'm like, but yet you will only string people up for me.
Right? You can only stop them. You can't, like, I don't know, teleport to them and stab them, and I don't know.
I think they could have done a little bit more with the helpers, but honestly, it is a hard line to do because you don't want them to be too helpful.
Right, you want them to be a companion, not...
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why they went that direction with them, but it felt like, okay, so do I really need you here? Is that something that, like, BD could do?
They give BD a little net to shoot.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love the Seer section. Like, specifically, just before that, with Bode's initial betrayal, up until after Seer dies. Spoiler.
Haha!
Oh, wait, I already spoiled that
Yeah,
earlier?
you did.
Oh, well, Vader kills her. Extra
spoiler!
But, like, that whole section of the story, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, up until, like, when I was initially playing, getting to that point, I'm like, because I was still feeling that there's something going on, and I feel like this is almost a lull, or getting to one.
Mm-hmm.
But then that happens, like, oh, you just amp this shit up real hard.
Yes.
Vader shows up, you're like,
oh yes.
I'm wet right now.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that, I was like, ooh, this is cool. I'm like, playing as Seer is a surprise.
Yes.
It's cool.
I was not
it's
expecting
different.
that. Yeah.
And you get to be a beat stick.
And you get a different power,
honestly,
too.
a little ridiculous of a beat stick in a way. little much, but
She
still
is
really fun.
older than...
She's older, more experienced, and she is supposed to be a Jedi Knight / Master.
Yes.
And I actually had finished her training formally. But still, it's like this much. I'm like, there's a big gap here. Somehow. And she's cut herself off from the Force for a long time.
For a very
considering
long
what
time.
they told us in the first game.
Yep.
But still, really fun. And
Brilliant.
honestly,
The boss fights are fun too.
boss fights are really fun. I don't have a problem with them. A lot of them had a lot of stuff going for it.
Yes.
And they got really interesting and very dynamic.
And they had some cool, like, you know, it had those, like, almost 3 levels to each one. And each one, you get, like, this cool new mechanic you had to try out. It was fun.
Or have to deal with.
Or deal with, yes. Like the Ninth Sister in that first one, where she's, like, reading your mind.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to attack her and you can't. So
You're supposed to just wait it out.
yeah, I knew I figured that out very quickly. But
It pissed me off for a little while, but yeah.
Yeah, you're like, why? But no, it was overall good. I enjoyed it. There was a couple moments where I got frustrated, just like, what the hell? You're going the wrong way. Why are you running this way when we were running this way to begin with, right? Or he just jumps silly, and then you're like, okay, well,
What the fuck?
yeah,
But that's any game. It's gonna happen.
it's gonna happen with any game overall. So yeah, do you have any other outstanding points that you can think of? You want
The mounts were cool, like the different.
Oh, I forgot about the mounts.
Different animals you could ride and stuff.
I was like the
like
Neko,
the Neko, and then the
Spammel.
Yes, the Spammel.
Those
On Jedi.
Yeah.
And then the little backgliding
I
things.
don't remember what they're
I
called.
don't know either.
That was
But
fun.
I
It was
would-
actually enjoyable to like try to navigate those two.
That was those
They
were cool
used them
tests.
well.
But I wish I could have actually driven some of the spacecraft and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I was hoping in this, I was like starting it up and I'm like, please tell me I get to
Like
drive the Mantis.
They tease you with the speeder in Jedi from the moment you get in there. Like, those two are hovering. And the only time you actually get to control it or anything is in that chase with Bode.
Yep, and it's very
Then you don't get to
scripted.
do it again.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
Yeah.
I wanted to ride that speeder, and every time I'm like, is there something I have to do in order to unlock this?
Can I unlock this? Can I use it? Because it would have been great in Jeddah too, but...
Yeah, and I do think that they give us like enough planets, and I think a couple of them are certainly serve their function, and some of them are very much you can explore. Like Kobo, you can explore the shit out.
Oh, you can explore everywhere.
And Jedi's very vast as well. Coruscant is tiny.
I mean, it was the intro area.
I know,
anyway.
but it's also like it's Coruscant.
Yeah,
you kind of want to.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, the Empire's
that
pretty
is also
home base.
I understand that as well. But stuff like that is just like I would have liked to explore some stuff a little bit more, but it's not big. That's a nitpick at best.
Yeah, I don't have very much. Like I said, I wish there was a couple more planets, but I think we got treated to, like you said, bigger maps, which was fun, and you could explore thoroughly, and then like side quests, all that fun.
Yeah, there's plenty of side quests too.
From catching fish, getting plants, and everything.
Fighting bounty hunters.
Yeah, it was good. And I didn't play too many of the side quests, mostly just trying to focus on the story. But even the ones that I did get, they were enjoyable.
Yep.
I thought the fish one was just like you get to listen to a story most of the time. And it was
you got some really intricate side missions for some of them as well, like story-wise, I mean.
Yes.
Like, there's just one guy that killed his business partner and he had the body in the basement.
Yeah.
That was fucked up.
Yeah, that was messed up. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember coming across and I'm like, the fuck is going on here?
What's happening here?
Then he tries to kill you.
You're like, wait, why are you trying to kill me? Yeah, it was good. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Even the creatures were fun in it too. Yep. The enemy creatures. There's a Rancor in it at one point, which was a lot of fun to fight.
Is it when the floor drops?
No.
Which one are you talking?
I was like strolling through a cave, and all of a sudden I just. Like,
oh yes.
Yeah. He's just hiding in a cave.
There's another one too.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
I never even ran into him.
There's one area on Kobo where there's all these droids and stuff there, and you go up, and then they have this droid. No, the Marauders. I'm sorry. I think they also have the droids with them though. So you go up there and you're fighting them, and it leads you to this big platform where there's a bunch of droids and some Marauders, and then you kill them, and then one of them there's something in the middle on the platform. You go there. As soon as you go to the middle to grab it, it opens, and there's a fucking monster in there.
No.
It killed me.
Yeah, that one was tough.
I was not prepped and ready.
Yeah.
And you can't get out of it until you kill them.
Of course not.
I left my experience points behind.
Oh, that's so sad.
I was like, I can't do it.
It's like I just
At that point in the game, I couldn't do it, then I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't matter anymore. No. I have a crossguard.
I have to save the planets. Yeah. Well,
thoughts on a possible third game? I don't think it's been officially announced though. I think it's like pretty much everyone knows.
I think it's gonna happen. Not that there was anything really like left open, but I feel like Cal's story isn't over.
It's not gonna be over because they have to answer the question of why the fuck wasn't he with the rebellion?
Yeah.
Obviously, either there's a couple options. He's gonna die. Vader will finally catch up to Cal.
Yeah.
Or perhaps he finally decides to leave it behind. Or perhaps he finds a new thing to fight for at some point or another.
Yeah. Well, and even with him struggling with the rage,
and that's another option as well. Like that could be a very big thing for the next game.
Does he become like one of those neutral Jedi Knights where it's just like I'm neither good nor bad, or does he turn to the dark side? Like it's hard to say. He did struggle with it a lot more than I thought he was going to. I thought he was going to be straight shooting most of the time because he held pretty steady through most of the game, and then the end of the game started coming, and he was just like, and it was like, yeah, I think there'll be a third one, and I hope that they again look at the things that they did well in this game and the things they didn't do so, and you could see it from Fallen Order to this game, huge difference.
Yeah, big update.
Yeah, Fallen Order was fun. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it, and it was a cool mechanic, especially because it was a new Star Wars game, something different. But this one took that and just went, here's something a little bit better, and it was really fun to play. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, anything else?
No, I think that is everything.
All right, well, we'll move on to ratings then. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, you go. Tell me what your rating is out of 10. 10 whole ones.
I give it 7.5 lightsabers.
Okay, 7.5 lightsabers.
Yes.
I actually am just gonna give it a 7. I debated giving it a 6.5 just because some of the gameplay, I look at the polish in games, and I've played games that are good and polished.
There's other games that basically show you what it could have been, and there's just still a little bit more improvement to be had. It's not a bad game by any means. It'll keep you entertained.
Absolutely. And I think as they did patches, it got better too.
Oh, yeah.
And I like Respawn. I think Respawn does a great job. They did the Titanfall games. They did their first Fallen Order as well. And I think they did a good job. I think just with the next one...
And I think Cal's a good character to be focused on.
Honestly, so much fun. So yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 7. I thought about giving it a 6.5, but, the story kind of helped save that from being a little bit lower. So yeah. I think a 7, lightsabers. Anyway, that is going to conclude. You have anything else? Oh, okay. That is going to conclude our episode of Jedi Survivor, which is the second in the series. Maybe there'll be a third, and we'll come back and do it. But if you have any comments, maybe you don't agree, disagree, think that we're just idiots, whatever. Let us know on social media here. But this has been Plotline Hotline. I'm Christian.
I'm Cole.
And we'll catch you next time. Yeah.
Fucking bye.
Bye!